ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor.
Because I'm trying to curate a FYP that is friendly, inclusive, and has a lot of fatties doing fatty activities.
Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Melina, formerly fat, currently fed up. We're back in the car. It is my lunch break. We are going to check out some fat talk, fat acceptance videos that I found on TikTok. If you are not aware, I now have a PO box. Yay! So if you want to send me something, letters or little trinkets, what have you, please feel free to do that. I will have that all listed down below. Other than that, I'm just going to jump right into it. I don't have anything else to say. It is quite hot. So I have the AC on in my car, but I'm using my mic, so it shouldn't really pick that up. If it does, that is a job for editing Melina. I know she's going to be mad, but whatever. There are a couple of good / breath of fresh air ones, and I will leave those ones more towards the bottom.
You want to know something that pisses me off? Is
Oh, girl, yes. Tell me what makes you mad.
Sometimes I'll see videos of like a fat person posting what they're eating or doing a mukbang or, you know, putting extra cheese on top of their Chipotle bowl.
As I always say, obese people should not free pour cheese. If you know, you know.
Extra sour cream, and then somebody will make a Stitch video or all the comments will be like, oh, you're a fatty who's gross and fat because you're eating all this fat food, blah, 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 blah. But then as soon as a skinny person posts a mukbang or whatever the fuck, the comments quiet. Or they're saying, oh, that looks delicious. Oh, I would love to eat that. Blah, 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 blah. And I just think that that double standard is...
Well, it's because skinny people are not eating like that all the time. You get fat from consuming excess calories and by eating crap food. Of course, you can technically lose weight if you are eating crap food as long as you're eating less than what you're burning. But the vast majority of people are not doing that. When skinny people are doing mukbangs, they are either doing them very sparingly, if at all, or they're eating all the food and then they're, you know, doing the thing I can't say because YouTube will demonetize me, which also is not healthy. Skinny people are skinny for a reason. They are simply eating at maintenance or right below maintenance overall. Fat people are fat for a reason. They are eating at or above maintenance overall. Point blank, period.
Horrible, and it pisses me the off. And anytime I see a video like that, I press do not like because I'm trying to curate a FYP that is friendly, inclusive, and has a lot of fatties doing fatty activities. Anyways, love ya. Be nice to people.
That's so weird. You want to surround yourself with people who do the same things as you so you don't feel bad about the things that you're doing to yourself, which is actively killing you. That's cute. Someone said, I also don't like the phrase big back behavior. Why? All that means is that you're doing things that a fat person would do. It's like me, my big back behavior would be eating all 6 mochi ice creams instead of just eating 1 or 2 of them. That's a big back behavior. Or eating an entire bag of family-sized, or an entire family-sized bag of hot Cheetos with a tub of Philadelphia cream cheese in one sitting. That is a big back behavior. There are certain behaviors that fat people do that are considered big back behavior because they are. Like I don't understand why that is considered to be a bad thing. I don't do big back behaviors anymore. And then now look at me. I'm no longer a big back because yes, I was technically class 1 obese. I'm 4'11" and I weighed at least 160 pounds. So yes, I was a big back. I was so big back that whenever I would order sushi through DoorDash, not only was I a big back, I was also a big broke. They would send me 3 chopsticks. 3 pairs of chopsticks because they thought I was ordering for a family. No, I was eating it all myself. That is big back behavior.
There's a stereotype for fat people, and it really irks me. It's the only one that really bothers me. It's this stereotype that fat people don't care about their bodies and don't...
Yes, correct. If you are eating yourself to deformity, if you are eating yourself into obesity, and especially extreme obesity, you don't care about your body. How can you argue that you care about your body when you are actively doing things that are harming it? It seems that people forget that food addiction is a form of self-harm, and it is an addiction, very similar to drugs or alcohol. The main difference with food addiction is that you are able to see it on people. Whereas, sure, drugs and alcohol, you can sometimes, but the vast majority of the time, you can't. So with food addicts, you can see you wear your day, basically. And eating yourself to the point where you are suffering with metabolic issues, you develop type 2 diabetes, you develop asthma, because yes, I learned this recently actually, being obese, you have a much higher likelihood of developing asthma. I'll put up the study right here. Actually, it's funny because I was researching about it because I forgot. Someone had mentioned like asthma and obesity, and I was like, are those two things actually linked? So I looked it up and it is. And then that day or the next day after, one of my subscribers messaged me on Instagram. She was like, hey, I don't know if you've seen this study, but I know you talk about like hypertension and cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes and all that. But this is another good one to add to your list. And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny you said that, because I was just looking at this. I would argue that you don't care about your body. When I was obese, I didn't give a crap about my body. I was hinging junk food and drinking alcohol all of the time. All of the time. I was not moving my body, wasn't exercising, wasn't going outside, wasn't getting sunlight. I wasn't caring about my body. If you care about your body, you're going to treat it well. You can compare it, let's say, I don't know, to your car. If you care about your car, what are you going to do? You're going to put in the right oil. You're going to change the oil on time. You're going to keep it clean. You're going to keep it nice. You're going to, drive the speed limit, or at least close to it, so you don't get into an accident. You take care of the things that you love. Period.
Smell good, maybe don't put effort into their bodies, when that cannot be farther from the truth.
This is a cope. I like how she's actively putting on a crap ton of lotions and sprays and serums and oils to prove that she smells good. Also, all of these fragrances are not good for you. The fragrances are known to be endocrine disruptors, so that's just something to be mindful about. You shouldn't have to slather yourself in oils and serums and lotions just to smell good.
Like me, I know there are so many people out there, or maybe you just haven't gotten to the body care part of it, but fat people also care about their body, how their skin looks, how they smell, how clean they are. I got a comment like,
okay, I'm sorry, but there comes a certain point in obesity where it is incredibly difficult to actually clean yourself. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it's a known thing that really big people tend to smell. And it's because when they take a shower, or they don't, because sometimes it's just really hard for them. They can't stand up. They can't go in the shower. They can't stand in the shower. Amberlynn Reed didn't shower for an entire year. She said that out of her own mouth because she physically could not. And even when they do shower, when they get out, they have to make sure all their folds are dried properly. And if not, they smell. And when you're this big, you sweat more, and sweat smells because of the bacteria on your skin. That just goes for everyone. But when you're bigger, you're sweating more because everything's hard for you. You can't walk down the street without sweating and being out of breath. So this is just like a big cope to me. Also, if you do smell and then you put like lotions and stuff on, you're just going to smell like BO plus like Victoria's Secret Enchanted or whatever.
a month ago that really pissed me off because it was insinuating that fat people don't smell good. And I was like, are you kidding me?
I would love to live in this level of delusion for like a day. That's hella funny.
Random account just talking about how and why fat people don't smell good. And I was like, I cannot believe this random ass person is going so far and so deep into trying to explain this like if it was rocket science. Well, let this be a reminder that BO is not picky to bodies, okay? Literally any.
Yeah, this is true. Skinny and thin people can also suffer with hygiene issues. No one is saying that they don't, but the likelihood of someone who is bigger suffering with them is even higher because keeping yourself clean is harder when you are larger. That's just, ask anyone who is your size or bigger, or even a little bit smaller, honestly. If they're being honest with you, comment down below. If you were a very big person, if you were morbidly obese, how hard was it for you to keep yourself clean and stay not smelling all day? Tell me.
Body, any size, any
like
color.
Look how, if you need to add this much product in order for you not to smell, that is a problem. The only thing I do is I'll put on deodorant, and then sometimes I'll wear perfume. Done. Sometimes my hair will have some argan oil in it. I think that has a smell to it, but that's it. You don't need to do, like, count the products that she's used already. I think it was 4. If you need to use 4 products, there's a hygiene issue, ma'am.
any weight.
Also, all these fragrances and perfumes, they bother people in public. Like, most people don't want to smell all of this stuff. If I can smell you walking by, fine. But if it like lingers, if you have to let it linger, do you have to? Do you have to? And you guys see the bumper sticker where it's like, please don't honk at me. I'm crying to the Cranberries song Zombies or something. If I could find it, I'll post it right here. But yeah, but a lot of people are very sensitive to this type of stuff. So
smell bad. Okay? Just like any big body, any fat girl can smell delicious. I like to put on all my cremitas and my perfume and stuff because it reminds me how much I love my body.
You don't love your body enough to eat the proper amount of food. You don't love your body enough to get rid of all the excess fat that is currently strangling your organs. I can tell from here she has a ton of visceral fat. If you loved yourself, you would become healthy. You would get healthier. You'd become the healthiest person you can be if you truly loved yourself. Sorry. I know people hate to hear that, but it is what it is. You're gonna either die early, or you are going to suffer a severe health scare or consequence, and you're going to be forced to become healthy, which is what happens in the fat acceptance movement a lot.
Hi, my name is Claudia and I am fat, and I'm going to tell you a few things from the top of my head that are...
I like how she said that like she was at an AA meeting. Hi, my name is Claudia and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Claudia.
no go for fat girls. Plastic chairs, no. Water parks, absolutely no. Wait, let me go back to that. No.
If you have to worry about a plastic chair taking you out, I think there is something you need to figure out. All of these things on her list, I watched like half of this video. It's like, these are not things you should ever have to worry about or even give second thought to. And if you do, that is a problem. You need to figure out your shit.
Not because we're in a bathing suit because I'm about that life, but because they weigh you in front of everyone just to make sure that you can go down a little float.
If you can't get on a floaty thing, go down the lazy river or one of those tube things, that is a problem. That's a problem.
Thingy, wooden tables? Absolutely not. A jet ski, how do I get back on?
And all this really tells me is you miss out on a ton of experiences if you are morbidly obese. That's all that this is telling me. So what exactly are you getting out of this besides instant gratification and eating basically whatever the hell you want, whenever you want? I think that's the only plus side. You get to eat whatever you want. But once you eat it, and you guys know this, if you have suffered with the overconsumption Ed Sheeran, after you eat it, like literally the last bite, you feel so bad, not only physically, but also mentally. So the only thing you're getting is a very short dopamine dump, instant gratification, and now you're more fat. Hooray.
I fall. Let's be real, I'm not going to be able to. I'll just float. Airplanes. I know the fat community is doing a great job at trying to normalize airplanes and asking for seatbelt extenders, but my butthole's...
How are we normalizing airplanes? Like, normalize being fat on airplanes? Do not get me started on this topic. What do I feel about it? Yeah, if you are spilling it, and this goes for anyone big, this goes for like bodybuilders too. If you are spilling into the other person's seat, you need to buy a second seat. There is no way in hell I'm going to sit next to an obese person or a super jacked person and have their body be touching my body. Absolutely not. I will throw a fit, and I'm not the type to throw a fit, but in that situation, yes, I would. I don't care how embarrassing it is for the other person. You should have thought about that before you booked your airplane seat, because I'm not the one.
Still quivers every time I have to ask for it. And don't you fucking ask me to play hide and seek, bitch. With the exception of a few gym bros. I don't need to say anymore. Gym bros.
Is she saying she doesn't like gym bros? Or I don't know. There's certain types of gym bros out there. Some of them are just dicks. Some of them are really cool. So you can't really give like a sweeping statement of just gym bros. But I do have a feeling I know who she's talking about, and I'll agree with that.
Did you know there was a weight limit to skydive?
Yeah. Yes. Of course there's a weight limit to skydive. First of all, the plane, I've been skydiving. I went for my 21st birthday. The plane that you need to get up into the sky in is tiny. So if you are excessively large, that's just not going to work. Same thing goes for helicopters. When my mom and we went to, what was it, like the Grand Canyon? So we did whitewater rafting in the Grand Canyon, like down below. And then we stayed oh gosh, I forgot where it was. Somewhere in like Utah. We stayed in the Utah place first, and then we did this like camping thing. And then in the morning, helicopters came, like landed right in front of us, and then took us into the Grand Canyon where we whitewater rafted, I think for, was it 3 days and 2 nights? And then we stayed in different camp spots in the Grand Canyon. It was awesome. But anyway, before we got on the helicopter, well, there's actually 2 planes. The first plane to take us to where we stayed the night, the first night, weighed us. And then also the helicopter weighed us, and they had to like switch people around for weight distribution. Like, are helicopters fat phobic now? Because you need a certain, this is basically saying science is fat phobic because you need a certain weight distribution so your helicopter doesn't go like this.
Fuck that plane. Jumping over what fence?
Yeah, imagine you're like getting chased by someone who wants to harm you, or there's like an active pew pew somewhere and you need to run and save your life, but you can't because you've eaten yourself to this.
I'm gonna get canceled for this.
Like, imagine if you have a child and there's a bad situation in public and you need to grab your child and run, but you can't. I think that alone should be a wake up call for people.
I already know, but kids, they're gonna ask me why I'm fat. Keep your kid away from me.
Well, yeah, why are you? Why are you fat? We all know you eat too much. It's the food. It is always the food. Always. Okay, this song is copyrighted, so I'm gonna edit it out. This might be a hot take, but no one is suited being fat. Human beings are not supposed to be fat. A little overweight is fine. I'm not talking about a little bit overweight. That is fine. But human beings are not meant to be obese. Human beings are not meant to be this big. Period. These size people did not exist before like the industrial revolution and the introduction of ultra processed foods. Sure, there might have been some here and there, of course, but the vast majority of people were normal size. They had a normal, healthy amount of body fat. This made me laugh because the answer is, I mean, it's pretty simple. A lot of the body positivity, fat activist women, they're like the Tess Holiday, for example. F your beauty standard, even though she gets tattoos and wears makeup and gets her hair done and gets chin lipo. I don't know if Tess has gotten it, but a lot of people in this space will get chin lipo because they still fall into the normal. They still want to fall in the normal beauty standard. So it's like F your beauty standards, except this one. Or F your beauty standard, which is her size. But all these other things they are still participating in. It's very goofy, but yeah, she has a chin still because she did not get it lipoed like all the fat activists models do. They'll also get like lipo in their stomach or like on their sides to give them a more attractive shape, because contrary to popular belief, most fat people, when they're fat, they're not like an attractive fat where it's only in their boobs and their hips and their waist, or their boobs and their hips and their butts and like some of their thighs, like a nice hourglass. It's typically like your waist, which is objectively the worst spot to be fat. If you take, I say this in every video, do your waist to height ratio. This will tell you if you are healthy or not, because it's a good indicator of visceral fat, which is the bad fat. That is the fat that is wrapped around your organs and the fat that kills you.
Like, I swear, all the plus size people I see these days have no chin. Like, they look like... I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying... Am I the only one left with a chin? Why?
Yeah, that's crazy.
This would get me canceled if anyone actually cared about me, but I don't like...
Oh, this is a breath of fresh air one, so I'll go back to this one. Okay, this bitch. So many people have reacted to her. I actually made a video reacting to this video, but I was kind of mean in it, so I never posted it. So we'll just do a mini reaction within this one.
Don't get mad at me when I tell you this, but your before and after will not save you from being fatty. I think the rise of Ozempic has made everyone so brazen and bold to talk about weight loss in such a fatphobic way. Listen, personally,
I will talk about weight loss until the day that I die, because if you are obese, fat loss, not necessarily weight loss, but fat loss is what you need to do. Period.
I don't think it's my business, nor do I care
Then why are you talking about it? Why are you talking about it if you know it's none of your business?
what you do with your body. And if you
Okay, if you don't care what we do with our bodies, then why are you talking about it?
lose or you gain weight. But I think posting about it is damaging for you.
Bitch, do not tell me what is damaging for me. Do not. You do not know me. You are projecting your feelings onto everyone else.
For the people who are looking at it. I try to understand why, and then I try to put myself in your shoes. And when I look at it from the grand scheme of things, from the big general perspective, it makes sense. Of course, you want to post your before and after photos. Many see it as a notable accomplishment. So,
because it is a notable accomplishment. Losing weight and losing fat is probably one of, if not the hardest things people will do in their entire lifetime. It is an accomplishment if you lose body fat, especially if you are super big like her and you got down to a healthy body size. It is notable. It is amazing. It is extremely commendable. It is an objective good thing because it's freaking hard. Losing weight is hard. It's simple. Move more, eat less, manage your stress. Simple, not easy. Two very distinct things.
of course, you're posting about your weight loss. It makes sense, right? And I don't blame you. I think that wanting to be part of this thinness club is...
Shut up. The thinness club. Why are you hating from the outside of the club when you can't even get in?
Hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in.
something that society is pushing us all into. And then it turns to be that...
Yes, society should be healthy. 1000%. Am I saying society needs to be thin? No. It always blows my mind when people in the fat acceptance community talk about this, because it's like you're either obese or you're rail thin. There is no in between. You know, when you're on your journey from obese to rail thin, there is a myriad of different body shapes that you can create and stop at. Here's normal weight. You can even stop a little bit above. You want to be a little bit thicker? Sure. You can stop there. If you have 200 pounds to lose and then you lose 160 and you think, oh, actually, I really like how I look and I feel really great. My markers are going down, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You can stop there. You don't have to become stick thin. And I would argue that most people don't want to be stick thin.
Maybe one of the reasons that you post this is to inspire other fat people to lose weight. But then that's where you lose me.
Yes, I do post my before and afters to inspire other fat people to lose weight, because I know how hard it is and how sucky and horrible and disgusting I felt when I was fat. And seeing other people's before and afters genuinely helped me, especially when they had the same body shape, size, height as me. I'm 4'11". I think it is harder for shorter women to lose weight because our deficits are typically smaller, especially if you're not very active and you have low muscle mass. So yes, I do post it to be motivational. And guess what? I get DMs and messages every single day. Hundreds, if not thousands now. Saying, thank you, you help me, you inspire me, you motivate me to make better choices. I was going to buy this, but I heard you in my head saying blah, 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 whatever. And I didn't do that thing and I made the better choice. So thank you.
Because I thought this whole process was for you. I don't know what
it is. But guess what? When you post on social media, including you, Miss Jessica, you're posting it for attention. Period. No, well, this is for me. No, if it was for you, you would be posting on a private account with no followers. It's okay if you want attention. That's what the internet is for. So yes, I'm posting it for me because hell yeah, I like looking at my progress. But yes, I'm also posting it for other people so they can be inspired, they can be motivated, and they can give me ass claps.
Point of posting it is we can see it. We see you have gotten into a smaller body now.
We haven't just gotten into a smaller body. We have crawled our way out of the depths of hell. We have used our literal blood, sweat, and tears to get to the point where we are. This shit is not easy. Because when you're obese, you have demons inside of you. And don't say that you don't, because you do not become obese for no reason. Not because, oh, I just like food. No, there's a reason why you're using food to cope. So when you are finally able to beat those demons and then become a healthy person, that is something that needs to be celebrated.
What ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor.
This line is what pissed me off the most, and I'm not going to get too deep in it, but Jessica, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. There are actual people in this world that are being oppressed, and it's not fat people.
And you're okay with that. Now here's the kicker.
That makes me want to hit her in her mouth. Sorry.
Statistically, proven by science, not by me, so don't get mad at me, you will gain the weight back in 2 to 5 years.
Statistically, there's a couple things with this. One, that has been disproven. I think it was, Sam at Every Size. She went through that entire study and it's been debunked because they were using extreme crash diets, and I believe they are also having people monitor their own food, which if you read other studies about people doing that, even when you pay people, they still get it wrong like 60% of the time. Even dietitians get it wrong up to like 30% of the time, something like that. So that's been proven wrong. Number two, even if it was true, why would you have such a loser bitch mentality that you don't even want to try? Hey, there's a 2 in 5 chance or whatever it was, a 1 in 5 or 4 in 5, whatever it was, chance that you won't be able to do this. So you're just going to say, oh, well, I guess I just don't try. Get that loser bitch out of my face. I can't stand people like that. No, get out of my face.
Now we've met a lot of friends.
Also, by the way, I lost all my weight back in 2020 and I have not gained it back. So now what? The problem is people who do crash diets or random diets like keto, carnivore, Mediterranean, blah, 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 whatever diet it is, they'll do it for a little bit. And then of course they will lose weight. But once you stop doing that diet, you're going to go back to eating how you were, and then you gain the weight back because that's how you got fat in that way. So of course, if you go back to eating that way, you're going to get fat again. These diets don't really teach you anything, which is why everyone says, say it with me, lifestyle change. You have to change your lifestyle. I am a complete 180 from the woman that I was when I was obese compared to now. Complete 180. And that's why I'm able to keep my weight off.
Who have gotten multiple surgeries and have done things to lose weight. And I met them years ago, and now they're back to their original weight, or some of them are probably a little bit even bigger than they were before.
This bitch, if she was my friend, she said that she was using my body and my reality as a little gotcha in her video, I would have cussed her out and then I would have blocked her.
Now you find yourself being back into the same body that you hated before, the one that you were claiming was the worst version of you. So I'm not here to
yes, that body was the worst version of myself because again, I was hinge eating, hinge drinking, not taking care of myself at all. That was the worst version of myself. Like, I don't understand why that's a bad thing to say. I was lazy. I had a victim mindset. I was impulsive. Yeah, these are all terrible qualities. So I killed it. I killed her. And now I am someone that I am proud of. I'm not impulsive. I take care of myself. I have control over food. Food does not control me. This lady.
Shame or scold anyone. I think that it's a reasonable thing to want to be part of this thinness club because society has made this the ideal place to be.
No, your general health has made this the best place to be. It's not just society. Sure, does society prefer healthy bodies? Yeah, obviously, not only on a societal level, but also on a very basic biological level. We prefer healthy bodies because we are able to be a contributing member of society and we are able to procreate. Hello.
We all think that thinness is where we're going to achieve self-love and careers and friendships and love, partners. And of course, we all believe that, it's the long going myth of what thinness will bring to you. But I think it's more important for you to be at peace with yourself.
No, I will never be at peace in a body that I ate to obesity and to ill health. Why would I be at peace with that? You're just going to lay down and accept it and then just stay obese until you die in an early age. Be so freaking for real right now, Jessica. Be so freaking for real. You're just mad that other people are able to lose the weight and you can't. Just say that. Say that and go. I'm so sick of her. Let's look at some of the comments because I know some of them are dragging her. You're so jealous and bitter. Talk about crabs in a bucket. Yeah. As someone who's on Ozempic and works out 6 days a week, I'm not trying to be thin. I'm just trying to be healthy and grow muscle. The fact that people are offended by weight loss photos is wild. This is a wild take. God forbid a person wants to be healthy and is proud of their accomplishments. No, you're not becoming an oppressor for losing weight. You're becoming an inspiration, a visual representation of change that to some feels impossible. Exactly. Why is everyone in the comments so jealous and bitter? You don't want to see before and afters because you're mad that you were the before and don't have the self-respect to become the after. Exactly. I worked hard to lose weight and get fit. Of course, I'm going to be proud and show my progress. What you choose to take away from it is up to you. Yep. Yeah, people taking care of themselves and choosing to improve themselves is not a bad thing or something to avoid posting. Period. Get out of here, Jessica. Ugh.
The idea that fat people are promoting obesity is nonsense. Promoting obesity is not a real thing and it never has been.
Yeah, I mean, it is a real thing. And there are TikToks of obese people saying out loud with their mouths, I am promoting obesity. I want more people to become obese. Is that the majority? No, I don't think so. But I also think that the fat acceptance and fat talk, activists, whatever, they are trying to normalize it, and obesity should not be normalized. No, we should not normalize obesity. 77% of Americans are overweight or obese. It's like 1 in 4 children are obese. This should not be normalized. Should we be mean and like assholes to obese people? No. But there should be some type of pressure on them. It should not be normalized. We all should want to live in a happy, healthy body, and you're not doing that when you're obese.
There are no multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns telling thin people to get fat quick, or a $72.7 billion weight gain industry in the United States alone.
Yeah, well, if you took 2 freaking seconds to think critically about this, we don't have a thinness problem in America. We have an obesity problem in America. The number 1 killer in America is heart disease. Guess how you get heart disease, sweetheart? I'll give you a few seconds. And sure, there's a $1 billion, what did she say? $1 billion weight gain industry, but there's a $72.7 billion weight loss industry. You want to know what the fast food industry is? I'll put that right here. Yeah, why don't they ever talk about that? They always conveniently leave that out. Oh, but obese people don't always eat fast food. Shut up. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling me, sweetheart.
Or a $72.7 billion weight gain industry in the United States alone, or government-funded initiatives aimed at eliminating the existence of thin people.
Pause. The way that she said that is so disingenuous. We are not trying to get rid of obese people, and I say this in videos too. One of my goals, one of my dreams for America, or even the world, is to eliminate obesity. Not obese people, obesity, the disease, because guess what? Obesity is a disease. So yes, we do want to eliminate obesity, the disease, not the people. Stop twisting shit. You guys are so weird.
Or messages to thin people that if they can never be fat, then their life isn't worth living. But all of those things do exist in reverse for fat people. The entire concept of promoting obesity is a myth that's used to silence fat people when we advocate for the basic human rights we're so often denied.
What human rights are you denied? What is something a fat person can't do that I can do? I'll wait.
Like equal access to health insurance, life insurance, medical.
Are you upset that you have to pay more for health insurance because you are at a higher risk of needing said health insurance? Which, by the way, we subsidize healthcare, and obesity-related healthcare costs, what is it, like $732 billion per year? We are paying for the actions of other people.
Care, employment, education, travel, clothing, or
you have access to all of these things, though. Is it harder for you to travel? Yes, of course, because you have eaten yourself to the point that makes it difficult. Is it harder for you to find clothing? Yeah, because you have eaten yourself to the point where you need to shop in specialized stores. How is this anyone's problem but yours? It's like the lack of personal responsibility and extreme ownership within the fat acceptance, fat liberation movement is crazy. Crazy.
Just basic happiness and freedom from living in shame and abuse. The only things we are promoting are kindness, respect, and equality.
No, you are promoting wanting to eat whatever the hell you want and live however the hell you want and have other people accommodate you. We're not stupid.
People have always deserved equal rights and ethical treatment.
Yes, and I agree with that. They do deserve equal rights, which they do have, and ethical treatment, which, I mean, some people are unnecessarily mean to fat people, and I do not condone that. I just realized this video is from 2020. Oh my goodness. So the video says, since everyone suddenly seems to be skinny, they're not. The majority of America is overweight or obese. Here's what an unposed 260-pound 25-year-old body looks like at the pool. You weigh more than an NFL linebacker. That's all I'm going to say. And most people are not skinny. Okay, and the last four, or I have one more, and then the last four will be kind of like more breath of fresh air-y.
Do you know that? No.
So this says, when you ask me about former plus-size influencers who lost weight and all of a sudden flipped their script and became horrifically fatphobic. Now, my question to this is, are they horrifically fatphobic, or are they just talking against the fat acceptance movement / fat activists / are they talking about how unhealthy it is to be obese? Because I have a feeling it's actually that, and they're not actually being horrifically fatphobic. Are there some people? Sure, probably. Of course, there will always be examples of whatever side, but I think what I said is true. And one person that I can think of is, I don't know her exact name, but she was a big girl and she made big girl clothes, like curvy girl clothes. And then she lost weight because I think she wants to have a baby. And then she's becoming a little bit more like traditional, whatever. And people just like eat her up in the comment section. And it's like, people are allowed to change. People are allowed to lose weight. They're allowed to change their content. If you don't like it, then leave. No one is forcing you to stay. You can find other fat creators to go follow, but if someone wants to lose weight and then change their content style and start talking about how they lost weight, then so be it. It's their freaking content. Grow up.
This would get me canceled if anyone actually cared about me, but I don't like being fat. And apparently that's like a taboo thing to say. Do we fat people deserve acceptance?
It is very taboo to say, and this is why I'm so glad more and more people are speaking out about it.
And support the same way other people do? Yes. Do we deserve people to be consistently rude because of our weight? No.
Yes, I agree with this.
Do I think I'm ugly because I'm fat? No. I actually love myself. My man loves me. I don't care about my looks because I'm fat. It's not about looks. And it's not even about the way that people really...
But also, I will say, if you do want to lose weight for looks, there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Really do treat you differently when you're big. I've been a big...
If that's the only reason, then I would say that is kind of an issue. But if that is one of the main reasons, you just want to look better, you want to look better naked, you want your clothes to fit you better, there's nothing wrong with that. I am giving you permission to be okay with that.
Gal pretty much my entire life, but there's been times where I've lost a bunch of weight very unhealthily and then gained it all back. But whenever I am at the smaller end of the scale, like the way people treat you in public is so different that it disgusts me. Like,
yes, it is different, and this is not hard to admit. I don't do this, but the reason why people do it, and I'm not saying that this is okay, but the reason why is because when you see someone, and I'm not talking about me doing this. I don't do this. I treat everyone with the same level of respect. But if you see someone who does not respect themselves, that person then thinks, why should I respect them? Am I saying that is okay? No, please do not twist my words. I'm not saying that, but that is what's happening.
When I'm in a smaller body, men will literally like run to the door to open it for me. Yesterday, I was walking in a building and a man literally saw me and this other woman coming. He opened the door for this other woman and then he let it slam in my face.
That shouldn't happen. That's very rude. But that just comes down to a biological thing. Men typically want to smash, sounds so bad, smash women who are in a healthy body range or body fat percentage, blah, blah, whatever. That's all that is. No, he should not have done that, but it's a mating thing.
Like, it really isn't in your head. It's not even about that. It's literally about health. I never saw it in this way until I started dating my man. My man has obviously never made like a comment like insinuating that like there's anything wrong with my body in like a superficial way. But there was a time where we were both just eating very unhealthily. We were getting takeout a lot. And he was like, we really both like need to get healthy for our kids, for our future, so we actually live longer. And at first, just the idea of like him telling me that we need to lose weight kind of hurt, because I immediately took it in as like, he thinks I'm unattractive because I'm big, which like, I don't understand, because we've known each other since we were like 12 and I've always been big. Like, I'm on a health journey now because like, I want my future kids to be healthy. I want to have a safe, healthy pregnancy. I want to be able to run around and play with my kids without literally feeling like, I don't know, like I'm just exhausted all the time. But I genuinely, like, I really am over the whole like fat liberation movement. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to binge.
Yes! One of us! One of us! And the thing about the fat acceptance community, or the opposite side, so like us on here on YouTube, what are we even called? What are we even called? The anti-fat acceptance community, I guess? The health and wellness community? I don't know. We will happily welcome anyone from the fat acceptance community with open arms if they decide to change their mind.
It's not healthy to not move your body. All of these like registered dietitians and like doctors acting like it's no big deal to be overweight.
Yeah, registered dietitians I have beef with because they have been getting paid off by Big Food to promote ultra-processed foods that are not good for you. Yeah, cute. You can't really trust anyone now.
It is a big deal. It's not healthy. You will die faster. You will have health issues when you're older. Like, people will have to take care of you when you're old.
Not even when you're like super old. Even starting in your 40s, you start to develop issues.
More ways than thinner people do. So this is a generalization, but you know what I'm saying. Everyone already scrolled away like after 1 second, but if you are in a bigger body and you watch to the end, like, you are worthy of love, support, and acceptance. But I'm just saying, at a certain point, like, we deserve to be healthy and to feel better in our bodies and to give our families a better future for us, if that makes sense.
This
get me canceled if anyone actually cares.
It was just starting over. Yes, that does make sense, and I am very proud of her. If you want to live a long, happy, healthy life, you cannot be obese. I'm sorry. I'm not saying become thin. I'm not saying become skinny. Not saying that at all. You don't have to. But being obese and wanting to start a family is just, it's a recipe for disaster for the family, but also just for the child itself. Like, when you're growing the baby and then also giving birth, the likelihood of the child becoming or being obese themselves skyrockets, genetic deformities, things like that.
Okay, I'm going to be very vulnerable. The reason why I'm trying to get in the best shape of my life by the time I'm 30, again, I'm 28 now, so there's time, but multiple reasons. One, I want to be able to have kids, and in the state that I am in my body, I don't know if I'll be able to. I've had doctors tell me, like, you need to lose weight and do all those things. So it scared me, and I want to be able to carry my kids physically, and then, like, after, carry them. So that's like number one. Number two is I just want to feel more confident. I want to look in the mirror and love what I see. And at this point in my life, I don't. I
truly believe, and this might be controversial, but a lot, if not most, or all of the people in the fat acceptance, fat activist community, when they say, oh yeah, I love what I see, I just don't believe it. I genuinely do not believe it. I hated what I saw in the mirror when I looked in the mirror when I was obese. There's no freaking way. I think it's just cope because they know they can't or they don't want to lose weight. So the only other thing is to fake it.
Lost 100 pounds, but like, let's keep it going,
Good for her.
It's hard to look in the mirror some days. So we're going to fix that. I'm in control. The third reason is I'm spending far too much money on food. Point blank, period. DoorDash is my best friend, and like, I need some distance. Yeah,
DoorDash and obesity, they are like this.
Need some space from DoorDash. So I really want to work on cooking.
In my fat days, I would DoorDash sushi, and like I said, I would get so much that they would send me 3 chopsticks, and then I would also DoorDash right after that, Cold Stone or Baskin Robbins. Oh my goodness.
For myself, I want to be a strong, independent woman that like meal preps and cooks for herself and is able to, nourish her body in the ways that we're supposed to versus outside sources. So those are like the 3 main reasons. Confidence is, probably the number 1 reason. I've gone on lots of dates in 2024 and I just don't feel attractive. I don't,
And feeling not confident, that it shows up everywhere, not only in dating, but in your work, in whatever like job performance you have, or if you have hobbies, it's in your friend group, in public, it just shows everywhere. You can look at someone and you can see just by the way that they're acting or the way that they carry themselves, if they are truly confident or not. And that hinders you from everything, meeting new people, starting new jobs, getting promotions.
When people pay me compliments, I take it in stride and I make a joke out of it. But it's just, I'm afraid I'm never going to find someone. So, because of the way I look, and I know that's so stupid, and I know that coming out of my mouth, that sounds crazy.
I don't think that's stupid, especially if you have a certain caliber of man or woman in your mind that you want to get, and you know that that person just simply wouldn't date a obese or morbidly obese person. I mean, that's fair.
But that's where I'm at. So I want to make all of these positive adjustments to take care of myself, to find a lover. That was a weird way of saying it. To be able to like provide for myself. Those are the main reasons. But I wanted to take a second to just like talk about that, because you're going to see a lot more of this type of content, and including fit checks and stuff like that. But this is where I'm at mentally, and I want to love myself. So that's what this whole like journey to 30 is. It's just finding myself.
Good. I absolutely love that for her. Yeah, and she's already lost 100 pounds. Hell yes. Keep it going. I love it. I love when people find their way. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Why are all the little kids obese? I'm outside of a grocery store and I've been looking at people's bags. Why are you only giving your kids like the most processed foods? That's why they're that obese. No, I'm not talking about like a little chubby, like it's cute that you're little. No, I'm talking about it looks like it hurts when they walk because they cannot breathe. Like who? Yes, little chubby kids are cute, but only chubby, not obese. And once you're like on that like path of obesity, it is so hard to get out of. Like imagine like being obese your entire life. There's like another obese right there. I'm not gonna record, I'm not gonna give you examples, but I know that you know what I'm talking about. Stop giving your kids all these terrible things. I know that this affects people with like lower income more. It's a problem too. Maybe I should like research how to help instead of like complaining about it first. But it is just a genuine issue. And we're not in a food desert. I don't know, but I do know that.
That is an excellent point to make, because if you are not in a food desert, there really is not an excuse. There really isn't.
That money that well, that's the thing. Like, they could spend like $5 on like eggs, or they could spend those $5 on 3 packs of snacks. It's like, which one's gonna? But still, like, oh my God, your kid's gonna get cholesterol at 12.
Your kid's gonna get cholesterol at 12. That's funny. Yeah, no, she speaks facts. I talk about childhood obesity in a lot of my videos, so I don't think I need to beat a dead horse here, and I need to go shortly. This will be the last one.
Telling people that they have to eat less to lose weight is not promoting ED. I literally don't care. That is the wildest take to me. America is the most gluttonous country. Look at our commercials. Look at our media that we consume. Look at the fast food, the massive portions. We have to get a burger and a large fry and a milkshake and a soda. Our portions are out of control. Our health is out of control, and the quality of the food is so bad, but it is so addicting because it's junk. And so we want more, and it's gross. It's literally gluttony. That is why gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins. Like, once it's got its hold on you, it's hard to get out of that. And I'm speaking to myself as well. I struggle with binge eating. I struggle with that. It is a gross thing to struggle with. And it had me tight a couple years ago. I'm not going to lie.
And yes, some people might be offended that she says it's gross, but it is gross. Speaking also from someone who has suffered with hinge eating, I'll be 1 year hinge free in October. Hooray! I'll make a post about that, but it is gross. It is nasty. It is disgusting to sit there and eat that much food.
But there are ways to like unlearn that behavior. If you're offended by people saying, oh, if you want to lose weight, cut your portions in half, you're the problem. America does not have a skinny epidemic, okay? It has an obesity epidemic. There's a reason for that. And it is such a rude awakening when you try to stop and you realize just how far gone you are, and you realize how long you've been just gluttonous and overfeeding yourself. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can unlearn it. I've been unlearning it for like the past 2 years, and I've made a lot of progress. And like, don't get me wrong, I have my slip ups, but like, I don't know. Like, once you take yourself out of it, you'll know what I mean. Like, America's crazy.
I 100% agree. I agree with everything that she had to say. America does have a gluttony problem. A lot of countries actually do, because they are, especially like third world or close to third world countries where they are introducing more Western food. There's a lot of documentaries about that. Maybe I can go over those one day. But yeah, it is gross. It is nasty. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts down below. I love reading your guys' comments. Like this video if you have not liked it already. Check out my channel memberships. I'm actually mailing off the rest of my Bison Ink Club. Gotta make sure I got the right ones. The Bison Ink Club cards. This is where I mail you a postcard or a normal card every single month. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. Always in my channel description. And until next time, goodbye.